Mana mana
Yeah.
dee 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 dee. Mana mana dee 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 dee. I need to learn the rest of that song, or add some words to it. How are we looking, my friends out there in Facebook, YouTube land? We've got some eyeballs popping on. Hey, we're testing out a new chat window here for Susie. So if you are on YouTube with us right now, or in the Get Organized Challenge group, or on the Facebook page, would you please enter a comment or something in your chat screen where you're watching, so anything like that. And then, we'll need to choose a winner this week too, Susie. I don't think we chose a winner last week, did we? We're going to choose 2 winners this week. Woo! I don't know if I'm supposed to do that or not, but since we didn't choose a winner last week, we're going to choose a winner this week. So make sure that you comment in the feed. So as we're chatting today, and then we will choose a winner or 2 winners, and we'll get you hooked up after the holiday. They do things a little bit different at CC during the holidays. Most of their employees are gone for this 2-week period, so it'll be a little bit of a delay getting you your gift certificate, but as soon as they're back, we'll make sure and get that taken care of.
Because they get better vacation time over there.
I'll tell you a funny story while we're waiting for people to pop on. I commented in a meeting one time with the team in the UK, and somebody was on vacation. Well, they get 5 weeks of vacation over there. And I said, boy, you guys have it dialed in over there, you British folks. You get 5 weeks of vacation. Seems like someone's always gone. And one of the guys in the meeting, he has a good sense of humor, James, he says to me, hey, you left us. So I thought it was pretty cute. Okay. Phenomena. We're going to be short and sweet today. Don't have a lot of questions, but I know everybody's having a really busy week. So are comments popping up in your feed there, Susie? Okay, good. So we're able to see them. Nice. So Susie is trying to do everything today because Colleen isn't with us. So if you have a question, make sure you type question in caps if you can before the question, and Susie will kind of keep her eyes out for that. This week, as promised after last week, I'm giving you all a homework assignment, and that is to set some goals. Now, I'm not calling them resolutions. This isn't a New Year's resolution. What I want you to do, and why? Why am I not calling it that? Because how do I say this in a nice way? Somehow, if you don't meet your New Year's resolution, it's not a big deal, right? It's common that people set resolutions at the beginning of the year and then they don't accomplish what they resolved to do. I mean, even to the point that the majority of cartoons in the newspaper and memes on the internet will probably be after around the 15th of January of people not, or sort of blowing off their resolutions. One of the things that the resolution is, it starts on January 1st. And my sort of take on those things is, if you won't do it today, why would you do it 4 days from now, right? You're either going to get it done, you're going to set the goal and you're going to make it happen, or you're not. And my goal for you is to help you be motivated and be inspired to actually get those goals done this year. So I did this little printable form. Susie's going to put a link up to it. I don't think we can share links in our chat with you if you're watching on the Get Organized Challenge group page, but I will go in and add the link to this on the Get Organized Challenge page. It just says, challenge yourself 2022 organization goals. Now, you can use this in your craft room. Did it go up? Yay! Okay, that was a new thing for us. We're testing. So you can use this in your craft room. That's what my initial thought was when I put it together. But you can use it anywhere in your life as well. So the first thing of it is, what 3 areas do you think you'd like to organize? What's going to have the biggest impact? And then the second thing is, which one of those are you going to start with? So come up with 3 areas. And remember, It doesn't have to be some big, hairy, overwhelming goal. It can be something simple and something that you know in your mind is going to be easy to achieve if you just will buckle down and get it done. So what 3 areas? And then which one are you going to work on? And then there's a little area. What do you need to get that done? It could be that you need to order product, or that you need to go to Target if you choose, something that's you're going to organize your pantry or whatever. What do you need to get that done? And it could be time, it could be help, anything that you think it's going to take to achieve that goal. You're going to put it in that checklist right there. And then below that, what are the steps that you're going to take? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you need to do to get this done? And then how much time? When are you going to start? And then I want you to jump in and do it. And then you can just reprint this as often as you need. So maybe you're going to start with the first thing, then you're going to do the second thing and the third thing, and you need to print another copy. It's just going to be there. You can download it, you can save it on your computer, and hopefully it's just going to encourage you to move forward with those small things as we go throughout the year. There is no Get Organized Challenge starting in January. The next Get Organized Challenge will most likely be a 12-week challenge after the feedback we got when I asked the last time. So, but it won't start until March, because we just kind of wrapped up at the end of November, the last 12-week challenge. So there was a post up on Facebook that said there was going to be one in January. I'm sorry, that was just misinformation. It's going to be in March. We'll let all of you know. If you have not joined the Get Organized Challenge group, Facebook group, it was shifted over to a private group. So now, now you have to, if you haven't done it, just sign up, answer the couple of questions, and then you'll get into the group. It's not challenging. It's just, they just changed the structure of it a little bit. So I would definitely encourage you to do that as well. So so a couple of my favorite quotes, some of you have heard these before, but they do sort of help with motivation and inspiration. The first one is, goals not put to paper are seeds without soil, right? Which is why I put this little sheet together, because it makes it easy to write down your goals. It keeps it simple. It's short. You can put it on your bulletin board. You can put it on your desk and look at it every day, or on the refrigerator. So that's my first one. Goals not put to paper are seeds without soil. Write down your goals and force yourself to look at them every day. The other one is something that I just heard. I was watching a Jordan Peterson video, and he said, orient to the future, but operate in today. And I think that that is such a huge and simple piece of advice, because if you look at the future of your craft room neat and organized, right? You want to orient to that, but you can't always accomplish everything to get there overnight, right? Or you need time, you need resources, whatever it is, but operate in today. What can you do today that keeps you on the track to get your craft room organized, or maybe to get your closet organized, or your garage, or whatever it is that you're really working on? Any type of goal in general. And that's one of the things that I wanted to sort of incorporate today was, what are your other goals? This is a great time to think about it. So your goal, you might have financial goals, or relationship goals, or workout goals, or diet goals, whatever it is that you want to change in your life. And I used to talk to my kids about upping their game or leveling up their life. And this is a great time to really ask yourself that question: what do I want? And it's a scary question for people to ask themselves, because sometimes we don't even want to deal with what those answers are and what that might, like, once we recognize we have an issue or a problem with something, then we feel like we have to deal with it, which we should. And so whether it's your craft room, or your, financial situation, or your diet, or your exercise, whatever it is, what do you want? Ask yourself this, write it down, and use this sort of as a launch pad to, how do I level up my life? And one other thing that happens for people then is they start coming up with reasons or excuses for why they won't, or can't, or aren't going to do whatever it takes. And I'm not saying that reasons or excuses aren't valid or difficult or any of those things. I think the very most important thing you can do with whatever you want to accomplish is recognize that you're making reasons or excuses. And sometimes they're valid. I'm not saying that they're not, right? So don't misunderstand that, like, sometimes I get pushed back on this idea, like, well, you don't understand my life. Well, it isn't my understanding of your life or your understanding of mine, or it's your understanding of your life. Like, why are you putting up that roadblock? Is it do you need it up right now for whatever the reason is, or is it just an excuse because you don't want to do the hard work? And I think the most important thing that we can do is recognize what we're doing. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to take action on it or that you have to take action on it, but recognizing that you are putting up that excuse, that reason, whatever it is, and acknowledging, yes, I am doing this. It brings it into your conscious so much more when you are aware and conscious of the choices that you're making. And I know that sounds really silly, but it's something that's really not, the people don't do in general. I mean, there are huge books written about it. When I was raising my boys, I used to always say to them, you have to choose or life will choose for you. And sometimes life chooses well, and sometimes it does not. And so this is one of those, I guess the point that I'm trying to get across, recognize what you're doing. You may still continue to do it. It may be the right decision at that time, that reason, that excuse. But just recognizing that that's what you're doing is really kind of a key feature to that. Okay. And then this is my last little rant on this whole goal setting. And don't wait. I don't want you to wait till January 1. I want you to do it today. Today, you had an hour set aside for Tuesday Live, and our Tuesday Live isn't going to be an hour long today. So take that extra few minutes, print your challenge list, and set your goals and get started today. And I want you to remember, if you take nothing else away from this today, if you won't do it today, you won't do it tomorrow, right? That's it. This arbitrary line of a calendar date, it doesn't really mean anything. You're either going to do it or you're not going to do it, right? And to quote Nike, just do it, right? There we go. Just do it. Okay. So my last little bit on this is I want you to make a note to yourself and ask yourself this question. I should have put it on here. What's the difference between a goal and a wish list? What is the difference between a goal and a wish list? Because there are lots of us out there who think that we have goals, but really what we have is a wish list. So that is your soul search for the week. And hopefully some of you will post up on some of the feeds here over the next week what your definition is, goal versus wish list. Okay, that's it. That is my get organized mantra for the week. And so now let's talk about questions that came up. First thing I want to do is give a shout out to Rachel Burkett, who put up a great post on the Get Organized Challenge group using the slide, stash, and store boxes to organize her laundry room, utility room. And it just looked great. And she has a little back issue. So being able to slide those things out and get what she needs rather than bend over and dig to the back of the cabinet, she thought was going to be really helpful to her. But she put up great pictures, a little before, after. What does it look like? Everything's labeled. Oh, that's made my heart sing this morning when I was looking through posts on the GOC page and just really enjoyed that. So if you have not seen that, jump into the GOC and take a look. Rachel Burkett, congratulations. That looked awesome. And thanks so much for sharing. It's real when you all share things. I think Terry Wiegand also shared some slide, stash, and store of how she used hers. But when you share things with everybody else in the group, it sort of inspires other people to do different things, especially when they're outside of crafting. So way to go. Okay, questions for the week. Kathy Chatham says, can you give us a link to the ink usage guide? Could not find it in the GOC page. You know, it was just a picture that was up in the GOC page. so I will look for it, but I will also try to recreate it. And so that it's more printable. So the one that was there was just a JPEG, so you couldn't really add to it or do anything different with it. So I'll try to recreate it in Excel maybe and print it or get a link up. So I could probably get to that today, actually. So I'll look for that. And the one thing on that is I am by no stretch an authority on inks. There's so many different kinds. They do so many different things. This little thing that Kathy's talking about had specific brands and uses, and it was super helpful. But I'm going to ask you, once I put it up, if you have other brands, other uses where we could kind of consolidate that into even a more specific grid. Like I think I pulled it out this weekend to actually look up. I have some Studio G inks and I have some Spectrum Noir inks, and they weren't on there. And I was like, I wonder how this works, or if this works for that or whatever. And so I thought, we should expand this out. So I will get up as much as from that list. And then hopefully some of you will chime in and add things, and we can really turn it into a great resource. Eleanor Fleck says, good morning. Will 2 12x12 rotating design boards fit in the 12x12 paper taker rather than carrying 2 Lisa bags? So I think last week I showed you the 12x12 rotating design board in the Lisa bag. And so this morning, Susie and I, working together, stuffed 2 12x12 rotating design boards into one of the 12x12 paper takers. And you can see it's a very tight squeeze in there. Now, Susie was able to get one of the magnetic design tools in the very back. And I'm thinking, now that we did that, so they dump out. So if you want to get them out, you can dump them. That will be an easier way than what I was trying to do to lift them out. But I didn't even think about this. You might be able to take out the tray. So first of all, the vinyl is going to stretch a little bit. We all know that, right? Vinyl stretches. So you may be able to take out the tray, because in the case of the rotating design board, you might not actually need the tray because the bag is going to maintain its shape. So then, if you take the tray out, then they're a little bit easier. And I just clipped my things to the front, but you could also clip them to the side depending on where you're storing your bag. So you can do it. Yes. The answer is yes. You can put 2 on there. So, and then last week we talked about the 12x12 rotating design board. All of you know it's a great tool for organizing for creating scrapbooking layouts, anything that you want to rotate around while you're working on. But it really came up because we loaded it up with, can you see that, Suze?
Yeah.
We loaded it up with buddy bags to sort of create this rotating desktop storage. And I was thinking, so the buddy bags, they're not designed for this, right? So in terms of how high up you can go was the next question I got. How many of these could you put on a rotating design board? I don't know. I don't have a good answer to that because that's not really what they're designed for. However, I did think about it. It's probably not what I'm supposed to be doing here, but I was thinking that if you went the other direction, for those, Susie's husband's an engineer, we should get him in here and ask him, that if you went the other direction, so as you rotated this around, right, you could have things going almost like Jenga or whatever, right, Tetris-ish, that it would give more stability and more strength. But as a manufacturer, I can neither confirm nor deny that that's going to work. So you could do the same thing. Also, if you don't have the 12x12, or maybe you're using your 12x12 for its intended purpose and you don't want to do that, you could do the same thing. So this is the 9x11 rotating design board. Right, and I've got the Gemini on. But you could do the same thing on that. Oh, the Velcro.
Ooh.
The Velcro sticks on there. You could do the same thing on this. Right, with the different bags maybe. I'm always playing with things. Okay, remember your Velcro's gonna stick to each other. We'll fold this under so it doesn't stick this time. We'll see if we can't get two Stephanie bags on here back to back. Did I do this last time? I might have. It seems familiar now that I'm doing it again. So the difference is obviously the dimension on these. 12 by 12 versus 8.5 by 11. This one's really heavy with paint in it. So yeah,
Work on that.
they're a little more.
Perfected.
It needs to be perfected, as Susie's saying. So if you're going to put things in there that are going to roll out like these like ribbon, they either need to be on the top where they're leaning back more, or you need to roll up. I didn't roll this up enough. So if you roll up the flap, it's going to also give you that back. But then you're going to be able to. So you can do it on either, I guess. There we go. You can do it on the 8.5 by 11 or the 12 by 12. Both of them also work for holding your Gemini or your Gemini Junior as well. So depending on, it's nice that you can store it, like use that to hold other things, use it, and then also take it out and use it for, I put my notes underneath here and there. Oh, okay. So, and then our last question today was from Lori Engel. And she said, when will the 5x7 tab divider pockets be in stock? Don't know. However, I did check today, and the stampsoflife.com, let's say the stampsoflife.com, which is Stephanie Bernard's website. For those of you who are unfamiliar, they do have both the 5x7 pockets and the 5x7 magnets in stock right now. So you can order them from the stampsoflife.com. When you get to her, if you're a member of her club, you get a discount on every purchase. So depending on what you need, it might be worth joining a club to get started on that. She has really cute stamps and dies. So if you're a card maker and you're not part of Stephanie's group, you might want to be anyway. But when you get to her homepage on the left side, one of the choices is Totally Tiffany Organization. And if you click on that, you'll find the 5x7 pockets and the 5x7 magnets. And they are both in stock today. So if you need them, Lori, you could order them directly from Stephanie. And she will be able to get them out too very quickly. Okay, my crafty friends. So Susie, that's it. If you don't have any questions today.
There were a few other questions.
Oh, Susie's got some questions.
Okay. What was the name of the book you mentioned about decluttering and brain capacity?
The name of the book is The Willpower Instinct, and it is by Kelly McGonigal, McGonical, I think. I'll try to put up a link. Willpower Instinct. It's a great book. It's really well written. It's easy to follow along, too. I think I said it before.
I ordered it, but I couldn't remember the name.
Susie ordered it.
But couldn't remember the name.
So, but it's good. It's a good book. It's interesting. It's fun. It's fast paced, and it really gives you a lot of insight into how your brain works and why it sometimes doesn't work. So,
Yeah, because it's
Susie says hers isn't working. She needs all the help she can get.
Question: what's a good bag to store punches of different sizes?
Good bag to store punches of different sizes. I think that more than likely you are probably going to like the store. Why can't I think of the name? Any of these.
Your brain's not working either.
Storage and supply case. So these come in twos, fours, 2 drawer, a 4 drawer, and 6 drawer. And if you get one of each, the drawers are mix and matchy. Let's see if I have one that's kind of more, oh, this one has punches in it. So, hey, there we go. Is my heart punch in here yet? Sure is. So I put this together as a demo, and I was looking for a heart punch the other day. And I looked on my catalog about where it should be, and then it wasn't there, and it's because I put them all in here for this little demo. So so this is the 4 drawer, and you can see it has a variety of different size punches in it. The small punches fit in, I just had it out the other day. Where is it? Here it is. So here's a 6 drawer, and you can see I've got the small punches stacked up in the 6 drawer. 3 of these drawers fit in half a bag. So you could put 3 small drawers and 2 4s, depending on how you're categorizing or how you're storing those punches. But the nice thing about the store and go, or the storage and supply cases, is they do have the reinforced handle on the top, so they will hold the extra weight. And then you can mix and match the drawers in there as well. And then they have little pull-out drawers. So they're out of stock. Are they out of stock on our website? We might have them, actually. They might be available on our website. I think we just got a shipment of them in. If we don't have them, storage and supply cases, they have their own drop down where you can see all of them on one page, I think. I know they do. I know that's true. I just don't know where you drop it down from. I think there's Shop by Brand, and then the one next to that, Susie, the next one.
It looks like
They're in there. Are they? So, I don't know why I'm telling Susie how to move around our website. She has the fastest fingers on a phone I have ever seen. She can totally find anything really quickly. It's amazing.
It looks like they're in stock.
Okay, good. So we do have all 3 of them. Well, 4. There's 4 of them. The 2 drawer, the 4 drawer, and the 6 drawer all have the same depth, right? The 8 drawer is the one that's thinner. So those drawers are not interchangeable with the 2, 4, and 6. So this is the 8 drawer, and you can see it's significantly thinner than the others. But the other ones, the drawers are all interchangeable. So if you want different drawers or you want to combine things differently, you can mix and match the drawers in the 2, 4, and 6 drawer organizers. But they're a great place for punches of different dimensions. All right. Any other questions, Suze?
Let's see. Hi, Tiffany. I was wondering how many Stampin' Up! Ink refill bottles will fit into the Teresa bag, so I can know
10.
how to order.
How's that? There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There it is. I believe this is the Stampin' Up! With the white top also. I actually have some Baker's Twine in there. So there's Teresa. She'll hold 10, which I believe is a family in Stampin' Up! So there's your little Stampin' Up! Refill there. Perfect, easy peasy, simple. I love the easy questions, Susie. Got any more of those?
Okay, let's see. Linda Smith wants to know, just curious about the vinyl roll sleeves. Would it be possible to get them separately? I need more than those that come with the holder.
Linda, yes. Linda's asking about vinyl roll sleeves. I don't know how much you can hear, Susie, but the question is, can we get vinyl roll sleeves separately? Yes, we are working on the vinyl roll sleeves separately. They should be back. I know that they are on order, but I don't have a delivery date. Yes, as soon as we have them, I'll follow up next Tuesday with my meeting with Crafter's Companion and see where we're at with those and when we expect them to be here. But they're something that they just kind of slipped through the radar. But they will definitely be back in stock. Now you can also, someone asked me, can I put more vinyl in my big Bertha than I can put in my vinyl roll? And yes, you can. So the difference is if you're using the VRO, you've got this just one row. And then if you're using Big Bertha, you're going to get probably a double row and a half, like maybe something down the center as well. So it's not as visual for what's in there, but you can get more of them in the Big Bertha. You can probably get 2 of them. Well, let's just try it, right? Isn't that part of the joy here? All right, let's see. So I also use VRO, the sleeves to roll up things like, roll up anything actually, but my Teflon mats. So this is a number 5 box. Oh, Stephanie has these in stock as well. And she's got, so number 5 is not quite wide enough to go 2 across. So the Stamps of Life website, when I say Stephanie, that's what I'm talking about. She has got all of them also on her website. She's got a couple of bundles on the website as well. So I think some things that we are actually out of. Oh yeah, so you could go double with some room. So you're probably going to get in the Big Bertha 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, probably 14 in Bertha. 14 rolls of vinyl in Bertha. So that's number 6. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the nicknames of our Slide Stash and Store Girls, Big Bertha is the number 6 box on that. Oh, I want something. All right. Anything else, Susie?
Yeah, we're getting lots of
Ooh.
questions. Oh, please. Let's see. What's the next one? Whatever happened to London? Did you get him fired?
Lundy Poo has 2 jobs right now. He is working on getting his commercial truck driving license, and London loves driving, loves cars, loves listening to podcasts. And so he went to Arizona State University for his degrees in business and decided, I do not want to spend my life in a cubicle. I want to be out. I want to be doing things. I want to meet people. And so he is going to get his CDL and drive a truck for a while until his girlfriend, who I adore, Rena, so you met her a while ago. She was popped on for something, and she's looking for a new job. She's an animal conservation expert. She works at the Phoenix Zoo. I hope I'm not giving out too much information about their lives, but she breeds endangered species, and she is looking for a new job. And so London said, wherever she gets a job, I can be a truck driver until I figure out if I want to do something different. So that is his what he's doing now. And he also is working in a restaurant. So he has 2 jobs. He was a restaurant guy before COVID and then wasn't working during COVID. And so he depleted his savings account. So now he's got 2 jobs so he can build his savings account back up. There's the short skinny on Lundy Poo.
Okay. Let's see. Denise Stillman, her husband gave her a Dremel 3D printer for Christmas.
Ooh.
Question: what will the best storage solution to store my 3D printer material spools in?
Denise is asking about storing spools of 3D material, which are, if I'm correct, like threads of plastic, or they're thick strings of plastic. What a cool thing. I also want to know how you like it when you start using it. Maybe you've already started using it. I would also like to get a 3D printer. So if you love it, let me know what you like about it, what you don't like about it. But it just depends on the size. If you can give me the dimensions, and maybe Fast Fingers Susie over there could look up Dremel filament, I think is what it's called, plastic filament. And know the size, but if it's like similar to a ribbon size, then it's going to fit perfectly in. So when I say ribbon size, this is like a 3 1/4 inch spool of ribbon. That's kind of standard. This one's probably from Michael's. And these fit in, they obviously fit in the Stephanie bag, but they fit really great in the Edna buddy bag or in the, what's the other one? The Merle buddy bag. So if they're like that size, that 3.5-inch size, that's going to be a great option. If they're a little bigger or a little smaller, you could probably go with a little bigger, obviously would probably fit in Leanne. If you want the segments, the segmented sections, it could be the Stephanie bag.
Millimeters.
Oh, what are they? I know I can convert.
Okay, the length is 180. The width is 180. The height is 54.
54. The spool is 54 mil. That's 5.4 centimeters, which is about 2 inches. So, yeah, they're okay. So if they're about 2 inches, then probably the Edna bag. So it would be more similar to. I have an empty Edna, yeah. So it'd be more similar to big rolls of washi tape than it would be to ribbon. 2 inches, that's kind of in between. Oh, you know what it's similar to? It's probably most similar to the size of the American Crafts, glitter tape. And I do have that, so I'm going to duck out for a second because it'll be faster for me to grab it than it will be to talk Susie through where to find it. If only. So here's a bigger one. Okay, I know it's not good to have no face. There's none on there. There's none in that thing. Where did I put that? That's a problem with being me, right? I'm constantly moving things around my craft room to test them out in other things. But, where would I put that? All of it? Oh, I know. Hold the phone. So, here's the American Crafts glitter tape. Here's my measure. And let's see. Look at that, 5.4, which is 54 mil. So those, I bet you're going to love Edna for this. If I'm giving, right? So Edna or Merle. So if they're about the same size as the American Crafts, which it sounds like they are spools, even if they're thicker, right? If they're 54 mil, which is 5.4 centimeters, which is just a little over 2 inches. That's going to be the perfect solution. Or there's this. So depending on the space that you have and how you want to store them, this is the number one slide, stash, and store box. So if you're going to put them on a shelf and pull them in and out, these are like 13.5 inches long. You're going to get 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 spools in there if they're the same size as that. Woo, learn something new. There we go. What else you got, Suze?
Let's see. Are the magnetic strips ever coming back in stock for the die file?
Oh, can you please, if you need magnetic strips for the die file, I believe, you know who had them? Also, Stephanie did. Stamps of Life had them. But if you need magnetic strips for your die file, can you please email customer service at totally-tiffany.com. That's Leanne. She's probably off this week, if I remember correctly, but she will be back next week. And tell her that you're looking for those and say, Tiffany said you would help me. And whenever anyone says that, if Leanne can't answer that question, she knows that that means that I will find an answer for that question and we will do the best we can to get those strips to you. I believe, I could be wrong, that there are some floating around the US warehouse, even though they may not be in the UK warehouse. And also, Susie, fast fingers, maybe scrapbook.com might have them. I don't know that for a fact, but it's possible that scrapbook.com has them as well. So we will check that out for you. Okay, before you fast finger that, Susie, any other questions? And you need to.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, all right.
We've got lots of questions. Will any of the desk-made organizers fit back to back on the turntable?
Will the desk-made organizers fit back to back on the turntable? Y'all are challenging me today. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'm going to pull the turntable out of this bag, though. Now that I don't have the tray in there, it's a little easier to get out. Push it out from the bottom. Whoa. So the desk-made organizers are 15 inches long. The rotating design board is a little over 12. So you're going to get some overhang. I mean, if you put them back to back, you're going to get overhang. Ugh. Oh. Holy moly. That is a lot of stuff at your fingertips. So these are die stamp and supply organizers. And you can see I have dies and stamps and stencils in these two. Back to back here. I love this. However, it would also work with all of the large desk-made items are the same footprint. So you could put the 6x6 stadium or the 6-level stadium or the 4-level stadium on either side or back to back or whatever, which would probably be great for things like glitter glues and paints, or if you have a 6-level loaded with thread on one side and your paper crafting stuff on the other side. So the rotation of it is going to take up a lot of space. The one thing about the rotation, though, is that it's raised. So if you're working on something, if you have a project, right, that you're working on, you do have some clearance as that's spinning around, but it is going to be they're 9 inches deep. So you've got 18 inches by 15 inches, but you can absolutely put them. I love this. I don't know. There's something fun about the whole rotating thing.
Around.
Yes, there's something fun about that. All right. What else have you got, Suze?
Okay, let's see. Is there a video on how to use the design board for scrapbooking?
I believe there is, and it should just be on the page. If it's not, it's on the YouTube channel. So if you search rotating design board on the YouTube channel, there should be a video there. I think it's old, but when it first came out, just about laying that out and being able to rotate it around. And then I do use, okay, Susie, I'm going to summon you to the easel box over there because I don't have one. The bottom shelf, keep going right there. And there's a silver, yep, that's the one. So one thing that people like is to get using their magnetic design tool on their rotating design board and be able to look at it straight on as opposed to down. This is a little easel that I bought, Michael's, Joanne, Hobby Lobby, one of those stores in the frame shop, and you can see it's kind of squared off. And so it does work to hold your rotating design board. So if you want to put your magnetic design tool on the front, whoop. This one's upside down. And then build your project on there. I just had a piece of paper here, 12 by 12 paper that was loose. Where did I put it? Well, not that I don't have a ton of 12 by 12 paper. Let me just grab another piece here. I can't really see what I'm doing, but so once you get that all lined up and you've got the little mini magnets, right? So then you can use those to hold things like photos in place while you're designing. This is my sister. Susie saw this picture the other day and she's like, who is that? My sister. The reason London and Max, my sons, think that my sister is the greatest aunt ever is because she will do things like pose for this picture at Disneyland with a Cheshire Cat hat on and My kids call it owning it. Aunt Tisa owns it, Mom. So whatever you're working on, then you can line it up like that and kind of get that visual while you're working. Or of course, it's designed. Didn't put that on that straight when I was doing it. It's designed so as you're working this way, and then you can do the same thing, line it up, however you want to work with it. Now it's time to clean up your workspace. You can pick it up and move your whole project without your project getting moved around, right? If this was just a piece of paper on the table, when you picked up the edges of the paper, everything would kind of slide to the middle. But also the big beauty of the rotating design board is being able to draw in the corner, stamp in the corner, emboss in the corner, rotate to the other corner, and not have your arm in whatever paint, stenciling, whatever you've just done in those corners as you're working, letting your glue dry, any of those things. You can move the whole project really simply, as opposed to, trying to work without getting your elbow into something that's wet or glittery or whatever. So it just allows you to move that project really simply, and then also to actually line up whatever you're working on and be able to keep it lined up while you're designing it. So in a nutshell, that's it, but there is a video about it.
Is this what the die storage sheets?
I don't know what that.
Stamp has those.
No, those are the 5x7s.
Darn.
I know.
Got excited.
I know. But so if you're the magnets, it doesn't look like we can find them anywhere, the magnetic strips. So please email Leanne, customer service at totally-tiffany.com. Okay. Anything else for me, Suze?
Let's see. Where was the last one?
And then you're the winner picker today, so don't forget about that.
Okay, this is a serious one. Question. This is Craft Gidge. When do you know to stop reorganizing and rearranging things? When is okay enough? Seems like organizing can take over actual crafting time.
Oh, great question. So one of the things, I kind of touched on it a little bit early, right? About asking yourself hard questions. And this is one of them. She says, when do you stop organizing and start crafting? And for some of us who love to organize, we love doing it. And it's just joy to just organize, right? And some people organize because they don't want to choose crafting. They don't want to make a decision. They have so many things that they could do or should do or want to do that they don't want to commit to a craft. And so they think, I'm just going to organize this, or I'm just going to sort this out instead of crafting. And so what's really, really important is to ask yourself that question. Why do I keep organizing? Some people just find joy in organizing. I'm one of them. I love to organize things. Obviously, it's what I do for a living. And I love it. And sometimes we use that as an excuse for not doing other things. And if you start asking yourself this question, why am I doing this organizing instead of crafting? Is because I don't want to make a decision about crafting. Maybe you don't even like crafting. Maybe you just like organizing. I don't know. So one of the crazy things is that every human being is similar to every other human being, and every human being is different than every other human being. It's why we make so many different types of 12 by 12 organizers, right? Everybody's a little bit different. This is the same thing, like setting a goal is the important thing. My goal is to get these things organized. And when I'm done with that, I'm going to craft. So it's really a personal question of why. Why do you keep organizing instead of crafting? And is what's stopping you? Same thing we talked about earlier. What reason? What excuse? So if you are using that excuse, I can't craft until these things are organized, you need to recognize that that's the excuse or the reason that you're doing it. And no one can answer that actually but you. What is your reason or your excuse for not crafting and organizing instead? right? Maybe you don't want to commit to doing anything right now. Maybe you don't want to make a mess. So when I first started in the industry, I was writing articles for different magazines. And one of the magazines was called Snapshot Memories. It was Better Homes and Garden scrapbooking magazine. And the first article I wrote was called Scrap Traps. And it was all of the reasons that I wasn't scrapbooking. I had all these excuses for not actually doing it. My stuff wasn't well organized enough. I felt like I had to craft in chronological order, or that I had to scrapbook in chronological order, or I couldn't do that. I didn't have the right materials. I don't remember what all of them were. I was looking around. Somewhere in my world here is a notebook. That's all that article is in. I might revisit it. We'll talk about it a little bit next week. But it was in my head, right? Which is what this is. If you're using organization as an excuse or reason for not crafting, why is that? Do you really need to be doing that? Like when you look around your room, is there no workspace because everything is in disarray? And then what you really need to do is clean that up so you have a workspace? Or what is it that's stopping you mentally from crafting? And I can't answer that, but what I can do is ask yourself that question. And then really, you're going to get a stomach ache. Most of us, this seems so silly because it's crafting, but you'll find it's true across the board in your life. We don't want to ask questions that we know the answers are something we don't want to know, right? Like, I remember, again, I was raising my kids and I used to say to them, I'm going to ask you a question that I already know the answer to, right? And so don't risk a lie here, guys, right? And it's the same thing for ourselves. A lot of times we already know the answer. We do not want to ask the question because then we have to face that answer, whatever it is. So you need to ask yourself that question. Am I organizing because I don't want to craft? Am I organizing because I don't have room? Am I organizing because I get frustrated when I craft that I can't find things? And then you have to draw that out. How far do I need that to go in order for me to be comfortable crafting, right? And at a certain point, you have to recognize that you are creating a problem for yourself in your head. Which people don't want to admit to either, but we all do it all the time. And once you recognize that you're creating that problem yourself, then you'll be able to solve it and move on, or just accept it and move on either way. So sorry, there isn't really a good, there's not a black and white answer to that, but every book I've read on brain function and why we do things the way we do them, it's all the same. You just have to ask the question and then you have to answer it honestly. Ooh. All right. What else you got, Suze?
I think that's most of them, yeah.
All right. Susie says we're in pretty good shape for answering questions today. So much for keeping it really short today.
You want winners?
I need 2 winners. Who are they, Susie?
Okay. Lori Sans Patterson.
Lori Patterson, you're a winner this week. Woo, woo. You know what to do, Lori. You've been with us before. Email prizes@crafterscompanion.com. I'm writing your name down also so I can send it in. And who's our second winner?
Cheryl Sullivan Imamura.
Cheryl Sullivan Imamura. How do you spell her last name?
Imamura.
Imamura. Okay. I'm going to send both your names in, Cheryl Sullivan Imamura and Lori Sans Patterson. You are the winners this week. You need to email prizes@crafterscompanion.com and they'll get you hooked up with your gift card. Now, normally that happens on Thursdays, but like I said, the team there is on vacation this week. So it'll be a week from Thursday before that's all hooked up. Okay. So my wrap up today is, and I will put this up on the Tuesday takeaway. Also, I'm trying to put Tuesday takeaways on both the Totally Tiffany Facebook page and the Get Organized Challenge page. If you see it one place and not the other, please feel free to share it across those lines, because sometimes, I don't know, the magic of the internet, I don't know what happens. I think I'm sharing things to both pages and it doesn't happen. So please feel free to share. Your mission today in the next, what time is it, Susie?
It is 10:56.
10:56. Oh yeah, 4 minutes of Tiffany time. Download this, fill it out. You can do it in 4 minutes and get started on it. Get started on it today. Don't worry about a New Year's resolution. None of that. Print it, fill it out, and get started. Make your plan. I want to know next week how far along you've come with your plan. So be sure and add that to the comments next week when we ask for Tuesday live stuff. I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to ask for comments on this. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being part of the Tuesday tribe. I will see all of you next Tuesday, same organization channel. What is it that Batman said? Same bat time, same bat channel, right? Whatever. Same tribe time, same tribe channel. Thanks again for joining me today. Hope you all have a wonderful New Year's and a very productive goal setting session. Take care, everybody.